Time now to bring in KUSI golf analyst Don King. Don, welcome back to the Sports Rail. First round impressions, I think Brandon was talking about it, how used to be, it'd always be north on the leaderboard after day one. Not so anymore.
Exactly, and like we were talking about earlier, there's 14 guys that tied for fifth. 7 come from the north, 7 come from the south. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know if you can make up any ground going from the south to the north or lose any ground going north to the south. I think you have to hit the ball well both days.
For the longest time that we've been together, our conversations would always revolve around Tiger Woods. And then for the longest time, we barely even mentioned him. Now he's topping the conversation again. He gets perseverance points, if nothing else, right?
Right. Well, yeah, he's definitely not going away. I thought he might after last year, but he seems to be healthy. I was very impressed with his round. It got better as the round went on. No signs of pain. Looked like he's having fun out there. He was smiling during the interview. That's all good stuff.
Which is, I mean, even in his heyday, he wouldn't even acknowledge the people. Now you see him, high-fiving. Can you talk a little bit about the analytics of how the game has become so metric and measured?
Well, it started with TrackMan, and so everyone's tracking their ball speed, their club head speed, their spin ratios.
And why is all that important to Tiger Woods right now? Because his numbers are up, right?
His numbers are up from last year. They showed a stat like he had 114 ball speed last year here. Today he had 117. So that's a huge improvement.
This is Tiger Woods after his round time.
Of course, yeah. I'm always nervous. I mean, I care about what I do, and it was fun to feel that competitive rush again and try and, I had a scorecard in my hand and try and post some numbers.
8 to save the par. That is.
He made one interesting comment in that interview, talking about how the north side had the better greens. That struck me as odd. Well, what was that about?
Well, it's got to be something to do with maybe the south side was a little more bumpier. The north side's newer, but wait till he gets out there tomorrow. Those greens were. Oh,
be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to Phil Mickelson. I mean, how many times have we seen this? There are moments when he looks like the best golfer on the planet still, and there are moments when he doesn't.
Yeah, like I said, it looked like maybe he could shoot 2 or 3 over, and he's going to shoot 2 or 3 under, end up shooting 2 under. That's good.
And we got to see the flop wedge.
Yeah, you get to see it all, and some great drives and some not so good drives. Some putts made, some putts missed that should have been made.
All right, well, here's Lefty after his round. We'll get your reaction.
Good golf carries no matter where you play or what the conditions are. If you play good golf, it doesn't matter if the course is hard like Torrey or fairly easy like we had in Palm Springs last week. It's still the scores will translate. The condition of the golf course is just immaculate, and they're both very hard tests. I mean, the North course is a hard golf course now. It's I think the scores relative to par are about the same now as the South, and so it wasn't an easy day. I thought I played well to shoot a couple under.
The change with his brother now carrying the golf club is, at this point in his career, does Phil Mickelson? I could carry Phil Mickelson's golf bag.
Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, assuming I could hold up. I mean, he doesn't need a co-pilot anymore, does he?
Probably not as much as he did at one time, but it's still good to have someone that you can relate with out there and knows the game a little bit. And Tim knows the game very well, and they know each other very well, I'm sure. So I think it's a good fit, and I think they'll do just fine together.
All right, part of our standard routine is I show you a golfer and you give me a little reaction. We're going to roll this piece of video. Tell me, first of all, what are we looking at there?
Tiger fans. That's
John, defending champion John Rahm.
Well, this guy, if he wins this week, he's #1 in the world. So he won last week. He won last year here. It would be a fluke if he wins. Like I said, he's going to be #1 player in the world if he wins this week.
And I believe up next is the leader,
Tony Finau. Yeah, you know what? I really like this guy. Not just because he's leading, but he started out 3 years ago. He was 24. He was tied for 24. He went to tied 18th last year. T4 this year. I think he wins it.
And then Harry Potter's cousin, Ted Potter Jr., at one point was leading.
Well, no one's really heard of this guy, but he's been out there for a long time. He's made over $3 million, but he's been on the web.com the last 2 years.
And obviously the Pride of Poway.
It would be wonderful if he could win this tournament. Charlie does so much for the community, has supports junior golf and has that Pro-Am every Monday before.
Ricky?
Well, Ricky, I know farmers would love to see him win. I know Farmers would love to see him on the weekend. He's a
Yeah.
spokesman for Farmers, but he had a bad back nine. He made 3 bogeys and didn't finish very strong.
Now, Brandon was alluding to this. I think we're going to bring up a graphic. These are 7 the local 7. Brandon mentioned there were 10, so I obviously missed 3. But what does that say about San Diego golf? I mean, I know some of them some of them are San Diego State connections, but still.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all these guys out at Barona playing, but they're all doing very well on tour. And the young amateur from Oregon,
Norman Chung?
yeah, he's what a great round that is for him. Xander, Rookie of the Year last year. J.J. Spahn could have won this tournament last year. Had a bad 18th hole, but he good players.
All right. Before we get to your prediction, just give me 15 seconds. The big announcement during the weekend you were alluding to, Farmers is going to be around for 7 more years. They extend I mean, you live in a corporate world. Explain the importance of having someone sign on for another 7 more years.
Well, you got to see value, and obviously Farmers sees value. And Zurich owns Farmers, and they sponsor the New Orleans tournament, so they see a lot of value in PGA Tour golf. I talked to a friend of mine who's an agent. He brings out clients out here for the week and have a great time.
All right, look at your camera. Tell the people, you got 10 seconds. Who's going to win the tournament?
Well, I wish he wasn't leading right now because I liked him from the start. I like Tony Finau. I really do.